This week in Marion's garden, I've been doing a lot of work in the shady bench area, and I was going to be trying to move it forward, but I'm afraid the shady bench is no more. It is absolutely, totally gone. In fact, it's hollow inside. I don't think I'd dare sit on it. Maybe there was a big clue to what was happening, with the ferns actually growing out of it on both sides. Never mind. It's been there more than 20 years. It's had a good innings. But that's given me scope to build a little wall and have somewhere that the excess soil goes to. And so I've really been enjoying that. It's been a lot of riddling of gravel and building little walls with what I've got. It's like the old fairy story of the princess sorting her seed from the chaff, but instead I get a lovely pile of riddled soil without the gravel in, and a good pile of gravel to use again. Plus the benefit of exercising my old lady arms. And I'm up to a piece of garden that I just haven't been in for so long, and it is very, very overgrown. But there are plants here that I want to save. There's lovely meadow cranesbill, Thalictrum, an absolutely gorgeous geranium that's about to come out, and more beautiful ferns. So apart from the lovely ferns that are here, this is absolutely so overgrown. There are brambles coming through, there's goosegrass, there's nettles. I mean, there's just everything up here. And so, thistles too. So I know that this is going to take a bit more time than where I've already been doing. But then you can see right into the back corner there where the silver birch is, there's just nothing growing but weeds really. It's just been too shaded out. So I am looking forward to getting into that bit. I'll have to be rescuing the old sewing machine base, and there's the back end of a dragon. I have to find somewhere for him too. There are 2 more beds to go on here, and space for the compost heap. So at the moment, the loveliest stilby managed to get planted. That's the stump I was axing out last week. This is the old stream bed. I've managed to get rid of the liner, and so now my excess soil can fill this part in. One thing I found was this lovely trough. It's actually made from an old plastic mushroom crate. So nothing in it at all. So I thought I'd tidy out some of my pots that had alpines in and have just got in a bad state. So I'm going to take them all apart and replant this lovely little trough up. These lovely pans are so lovely, but I haven't really weeded them or done anything with them. So I think it's time for me to take everything out of here. It says that's blue mouse ears. That's the lovely hosta. There's blue mouse ears. Anyway, I'm going to save them and plant them into my trough. I'm remembering to put my gloves on because keeping my fingernails nice for sewing is becoming a hard task. Anyway, I'm going to take this little hosta out of here, and I think this is a little dianthus, but I'm going to save them because they've just been in a bit of an area that's ended up being more shady than they need, and the moss has taken over. What I can do is I can look for a new 1 or 2 new alpines to go in this lovely pan, because I do like them. At one time I had a few miniature hosta, but I think there's maybe only one or two left, and this is one of them. Oh, see, I'm already going to be taking my gloves off. I do like to feel the soil. Right. Don't know whether you can hear, but the tractor's working in the field behind me. So if you hear tractory noises, it's because there is a tractor. I'm not sure what he's doing. Oh, well, that moss has come out easy. So actually I've got 3 lovely little clumps, and I'll just shake some of the old soil off, and I'll make sure that I can get another one to put up in here. So I think whatever else was there has died, but there's this nice one, so I'll get this one. And I can't even remember what the third thing was in here, but they did have 3 in each one. So I've got 2 there. This one, I'm not sure there's anything to save. I'll just put them out the way. Oh, this one had Louisias in, little mango. And there is a Louisia there, just here. So maybe there were 3. Anyway, clear up again. I've got a tiny little London Pride, little saxifrage. Really, I do have plenty of it, but I'll save that and put it somewhere. Maybe it can go around the pond. That one's trying to stay alive. I'll give it a chance. I've riddled some soil. I found the grit from the back of the greenhouse. So I'll just make up the new mixture so that they've got some fresh soil to go back in. And first I'll put little mouse, blue mouse ears. You can go in there, blue mouse ears. Just mound it up a bit and give enough room for the gravel on the top or the grit on the top. Hopefully the repotting will give them a bit of a rejuvenation. So this trough, it looked quite old and stony, but it's actually just a mushroom crate. I covered it in what's called hypertufa, which is a mixture of sand, cement and compost. But it's been done a long time. You can see it's got lichens on it already, but it definitely works. Okay, little plum, you're going back in. You can go in the middle. Little raspberry, you're going to get a chance. Oh, it is quite poor. Let's see if it can be a bit rejuvenated. It'd be nice if I had another thing. I'm going to go on the hunt. Well, I haven't got another alpine. I'm just going to leave a space for something. Maybe I'll get it, during the summer. While I was hunting, I did find these 2 pots. Now, that one has another miniature hosta in called Paradise Puppet, but it's got an orchid that seeded itself in, so I can't really disturb it, but I'm going to just clear the top. And the other one, and then there's this beauty as well. So I can't even remember the name of this alpine, this here. But look, it's got orchids coming all the way through. So again, I can't really disturb it, but I'm going to try and get all the moss off and give it a bit of a rejuvenation and retop it with grit. Well, they look lovely. That looks nice planted up. I've put it outside the greenhouse where it's going to get lots of sunshine. And 2 little orchids came out when I was weeding the other pot. So I put them in there in the hopes that they'll just take. I'm sure this is only this year's seedling. The purple pot can stay near the pond. And the lovely mossy pan, I think I'm going to put that on the garden table. And I've also got 2 empty alpine pans, so I'll be on the hunt for some new plants. I sort of have a problem now, because the height of my soil and the height of the garden means that I don't want to carry on putting my path in at the same level. I'm going to just show you what it is, and anybody who's got any new suggestion than the one I'm trying to go with at the moment, please feel free to tell me what you would do. So at the moment you can see that I'm up to there with my gravel, and I'm using the plastic mesh things that came from Wendy's garden, and I'm filling them up with the riddled gravel to make a new path. Well, maybe you can tell that I'm already digging down lower than the ground level as was to put my raised bed in. That soil is about a foot higher than the path that I'm putting in, and as it goes to the back of my garden the ground level is rising all the time. So my problem is actually that I really wanted to avoid having a step anywhere. But the thought of taking this path on a slope up to the top just doesn't seem feasible. So I'm thinking of putting a step right at the end of the bed and then having the path go up on a slightly higher level and still probably raising on a bank. But that leaves me with the problem of what I'm doing along the crosswise path. I do have paving stones and some bricks from the greenhouse that I can use to make a step. Do I have another step at the other end? Do I make the beds double height? I can't quite get my ideas, and I sort of come up with the answers as I go along, but I feel a bit stumped at the moment. The area around the tunnel has already been built up 18 inches. And I did think that just by digging out the paths I'd be able to fill the beds, but there's actually too much height to do that. That's why I'm working it from the left hand side now, because I knew that I could make this area higher, because my neighbour's garden is a full 2 feet higher than mine, and I can build up a level bed into there where the stream used to be. But then what happens here? I could just rise it slowly from the polytunnel level. Or maybe I get to this second bed here and put a matching step in just here, along there, to get up, and then that means that the bed that goes here will be totally on a higher level, just with 1 plank all the way around it. And then by the time the path goes onwards from here, up through there, I'll have 1 plank on that side. But on the polytunnel end, I'll need 2 planks depth. As you can see, it's all a problem of levels. That's why I get obsessed with them. If you've got any different suggestion than the one I've just sort of tried to lay out for you, please let me know, because at the moment I feel as if I'm going with a step where I'm working now, and then I'll just have to work the other bits out as I get to them. But I just don't want to be moving more soil than I need to. And if I carry on at the level I'm on, I'll be 2.5 feet lower than the field, which is absolutely no good at all. I'll just get all the drain from the field coming into my garden. So somehow I have to get up there without having to spend any money if I can. use what I've got, which I've still got some paving stones, I've got some bricks, and I've got enough stuff to build a little wall with. And I don't mind digging, I just have to know how to get forward. So I hope you're going to help me out. In the meantime, I'm going to just enjoy myself cutting some flowers to put in a pretty display because it's my sister's birthday and she's coming for her tea. Thanks for watching everyone, and thanks for visiting me at Marion's garden. Till next time, I hope you're enjoying your own garden, wherever you are.